How do you be fully audience-centered by tuning into learning styles? I'm Tina B., founder and chief communicator of Tina B. LLC. I protect audiences from boring speeches, and this is another rooftop chat. I want to focus in on how to fully be audience-centered, and from reading Nick Morgan's book, Working the Room, he reminded me the importance of tuning in to people's learning styles. Now, this is something I have known for years in terms of understanding giving content as a teacher in the classroom, that we have different learning styles and people gravitate towards one or maybe a combination of these three: kinesthetic, visual, and audible. So I'm going to break those down in terms of how you can best connect with your audience in a meaningful way. Kinesthetic people love to learn through movement. You can do this by merely asking the individual or group to, by a show of hands, or stand up if you think, or even turn to your neighbor and talk about, any of those movements are really attractive and interesting to them, and it piques their interest as to what's to come next. So think about when you're in the classroom, and for me, when I was learning chemistry, it was a lot more interesting for me to actually engage in a different kind of experiment, hands-on, versus actually doing, just listening through a lecture. It didn't stick with me as much as understanding the elements of chemistry by that hands-on experience. Kinesthetic then is movement. So when you're presenting, whether in a workshop or in an auditorium, think about how can you get your audience to move, and asking those questions, getting their responses so that they are engaged. That's the first learning style. The second learning style is the visual learning style. When you use visual elements, that enhances retention for your audience, and it gets their interest tapped into what you're talking about. Whether it's a PowerPoint slide with a chart, or a visual that you draw on a dry erase board, or a prop, any of those are really adding to the content of your message. You can even show a video clip if it's nice, short, and sweet, and it aligns with your message. The visual learner likes that additional information to complement the content of your message. Now, the last of these is the audible. Now, audible learners really love to hear what it is that you're sharing. When you are giving a good story, a great analogy, a metaphor, or painting word pictures, all of those really get the audible learner to listen to you more effectively. Now, a good story is good for all of you to incorporate into your presentation. And really, the best presenter, the most audience-centered presenter, uses all three, because then you're most engaged and you're tuning in to all listeners. So when you move forward and you think about that presentation, tap into those three different learning styles so that you can best up-level your communication and be the most audience-centered speaker. For more information, check out tinabakehouse.com. That's tinabakehouse.com, or look at my YouTube channel with Effective Communication with Tina B. This is another Rooftop Chat.